Hi guys, welcome to Zera channel and welcome to Let's Talk Ships. Today guys we will take a closer look at the new tier 8 German destroyer Z-23. What's so special about her and what do you expect of a tier 8 German destroyer? She's so unique that in my personal opinion she will be closer to a Kent and a little bit Mayhem or Benson, mixed between. Now I can go and send you a lot of pictures, but I will just talk to you live. I think it's more obvious. What's so close to this Mayhem? It's the detection range. You see the detection range of because this is one of the just two things really important about any destroyer. It's your detection, your torpedo, and your also rate of fire, the smoke, torpedoes. But the main important is how stealthy are you and what speed do you have. So there's at least two or three things about Mayhem which the Z-23 it's very close, and the first one is the detection. Folks, Mayhem with no concealment expert. I don't have, you see, the captain's perk concealment. She's by sea, yeah, 7.7 kilometers away. The Z-23 tier 8 German destroyer, it's 7.92, so it's a little bit more, not by far but a little bit more. So 7.92 and by air 4.38, so here is way worse. Now let's talk something that will be very shocking for you. And folks, we have here at the main armor, I'm talking about Mayhem, 5 by 127 millimeters. The tier 8 Z-23 destroyer will have 5 by 150 millimeters. Well, this is a good and bad things, because here's the deal. Even though you will have the biggest tier 8 destroy guns in the game, there's few things that I have to say about. Well, of course, it's a huge big caliber and you will do a lot of damage, but the thing is that, folks, that you not benefit of AFT. You see, this captain in what I'm trying to say is, when you play in the destroyer, I urge you to put basic fire training, and here's the reload time, you know, of a caliber up to 139 millimeters. So if you have 150 millimeter, which is basically almost cruiser guns, will you not benefit of the faster reload, and you not benefit of the range either. So no buff to your range and no buff of the reload. And folks, this Mayhem range, it's 5 guns with 127 millimeters guns. The Z-23 will also have 5 guns, and the range, the battery range, it's 10.8, and you see here we have 11.7. Now, not that good thing, this is the reload time. It's a balancing factor, guys. We have the slowest reload of any ships in the game, and I'm talking about of any tier 8 destroyer whatsoever. 6.7 seconds, and you see here, folks, the reload time of the Mayhem is 3.6, and the trash can has 5 seconds. So there's no destroyer which so long reload time at 6.7. It's almost 1 second behind cruiser speed. I'm talking about, let's say, Fuji or some other Royal Navy cruiser. So 6.7 second reload time. But then it's because it's 150 millimeters guns, you will have massive of damage, and I'm talking about HE damage. HE damage will do 2200 versus, I know you can compare her with Benson's or some others, but I think from now on you should basically compare her with the trash can, because the trash can it's actually the closest you can compare the ship. But anyhow, 2,200 for HE and massive 3,700 for AP max damage. And folks, then we will go to the turning radius. Well, here's the deal. This is I'll go to Tech 3 and I tell you exactly what I mean. Of all the destroyers in the game, one of the hardest to play is Trash Can. Why it's so hard to play with Trash Can? It's because of two things: bad detection and huge, and I'm talking about huge, turning radius and rudder shift. Talking about maneuverability, you see here, it's a lot of speed, don't get me wrong, but turning radius it's 730 and rudder shift time 8.5. I think this is the worst of any destroyer in the game. But the next worst, unfortunately, will be the Z-23 with turning radius of 680, which is a whole lot better, and rudder shift 5.86. The Z-23 will be a mixer between the Japanese and US destroyer line, and I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Now I'm talking about the stock with no other module. It will be almost as Mayhen's detection 7.7 has this Mayhen Z-23 has 7.92, and by air it's 4.38, which is a whole lot worse. Now torpedo, folks, you have 8 torpedo total, 4 launchers, or I can say 4 by 2. So you don't only have 8 torpedo total, and Mayhen has of course 12. Yeah, a lot of torpedo. But here's the deal, folks. Let's go to the Fubuki and I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Fubuki's stock main firing range, it's 10 kilometers. Unfortunately, and here's the bad part, the Z-23 has only 10.8 kilometers and it has 150 millimeters gun, which means that you cannot benefit of AFT. You cannot buff your 10% reload with basic firing and AFT, which basically you're gonna be stuck at 10.8 kilometers, and the reload time it's the worst of any destroyer in the game. You know, balancing factor 6.7 second reload time. It's basically 1 second behind the Royal Navy cruisers. But here's the deal, folks. You see the torpedoes range? This Fubuki is a great torpedo boat, don't get me wrong. Reload time 82 seconds, right? Tier 8, Tier 9, Tier 10, all the German destroyers will have 90 seconds reload time with no captain's perk. I do urge you to have this perk that you have 10% faster reload time. And here's the Fubuki, those torps I choose here, type 90, which will do 15 kilometers and 57 knots. Well, imagine Z-23 with the upgraded torpedo, and if I will take the upgraded one, then I'll do really nice, good looking speed. I'm talking about 67 knots and will do 20,000. But here's the deal, folks. Torpedo range, well, here's the deal, this is very close, and reload time 90 seconds. Basically will be more or less type 93 mod 2 torpedo on the Z-23, because the range is 9.5 kilometers, 8 torps, and the speed is 66 knots. Not as fast as this 67, but it's close. Come on, 67, 66 knots, it's not bad. And Fubuki speed it's 37, the Z-23 it's 30 instead of a 35, 37. And of course turning radius it's a little bit worse, not a whole lot, 680, and rudder shift time, well, over here is 2 seconds. The Z-23 has 5.86, so I do urge you to purchase the consumable I'm talking about. You really need to have this module, 20% rudder shift time. So folks, I think it's very unique line because and I'll tell you why I mean, all the tier 6 to tier 9 destroyer line will have hydro. Yeah, you heard me right. All the destroyer from tier 6 to tier 10 will have hydro. And I'll tell you, basically at tier 8 Z-23 will have Hippers, Admiral Hippers hydro. You see here the rune. You see here the ships, and I'm talking about the Torpedo. Well, this is rune, and Hippers has a little bit less, but it will be, instead of 5.73, 5.6 for the ships and 3.8 for the torpedoes, which basically means that you will have better hydro than any other Royal Navy cruiser or any other ships in the game beside the German. But a destroyer with hydro, wow, and with the biggest guns of any tier 8 destroyers, almost as good as the Fubuki if you have this captain's perk. Wow. The only really downside, it's the main range. You only have 10.8 and you're stuck with it. But here's the deal, folks. I know this is kind of weird, but I'll compare. What should I compare? It's a bad yeah, I compare with the cruiser. Yes, 152 millimeters guns, right? 3,100 damage for AP, right? With the destroyer Z-23 you will do 3,700 AP damage and 2,200 HE. So if a light cruiser like this one showing you the broadside, you will nuke her with AP only. The downside is the reload time. You see, this is a cruiser with 7.5 reload time. Your reload time as a destroyer it's 6.7 and you're stuck with it. You cannot buff it. But then you have the speed. You have 37 knots and you have smoke. Very interesting destroyer line, and I think they will be very, very, very scary with hydro and with why should I say, punchy guns. Very punchy guns. Very unique line. I do believe beside the Russian destroyers you will become cruiser killer and destroyer hunter. Yeah, of course. I do not urge you to gunfight a US destroyer at close range, because I think Benson or other Russian destroyer will gunfight you because of the reload time. But then if they have a low HP and you have a good salvo, you will nuke them in one salvo. So well, that's very interesting line. Please guys, subscribe, let me know what you think about Z-23, if it's any special destroyer, or do you wish to grind the new German line? Thanks for watching and catch you in the next battle. Bye.